Growing up, there are only a few black TV shows. Shows made for us, and then everything else. Shows featuring people who have our skin color. Sure, there's MTV, but thank God for BET because there are a number of music videos featuring black music that MTV just can't seem to fit into its regular rotation. Yo MTV Raps is only a half hour a week. There's the occasional black character on your primetime shows, and then there's the Jeffersons, Good Times, and What's Happening. Then in a class of its own, there's The Cosby Show. If you can understand the significance of these shows, it's probably because you are black. You understand when we went from moving on up to being as high up as we knew. That's what made The Cosby Show so remarkable. We look good, we look smart, funny, wealthy, educated. We felt proud. Or when Roots was on TV. That was something different entirely. I was young and don't fully remember what it felt like. But my mother tells me, during that week while the show was on TV, you just couldn't see the white people around you the same way. I grew up with my stepbrother watching all the action movies I could, knowing from the start that there could only ever be one character with our skin color in the cast. And as sure as anything, they would die first. This is the kind of thing you laughed about. You would watch waiting for it, expecting death because you knew that the character was of so little value to the story, just like the real-life American story, or how they tell it. But there was this one movie, In Too Deep, or was it Deep Blue Sea? Too many damn shark movies. But do you remember it? It was that one starring LL Cool J. He didn't die first. I'm 15 years old. My stepbrother and I, we sit together watching Deep Blue Sea or just Killer Shark movie number 12, and we're waiting for him to die first. But we're dumbstruck. Someone dies before him, a white guy. What? He doesn't die second either. Oh, shit. He actually makes it to the end of the movie. We can't believe it. He survives with this lovely white couple all floating in the middle of the ocean after having survived and killed a shark, smiling with relief, waiting to be rescued. Finally, not only did we not die first, but we survived. I say we because that's how it feels. When the portrayal of your people is so few and so often lacking in depth or truth, or is only used as a means to remind you of your place, you feel like it's a we thing. But just then, just as we're about to cheer for our survival, out of nowhere, a shark jumps up and eats LL in one bite. Damn! Just like that, we're put back in our place. Wait, what? Wait. Actually, I think LL lived in that movie. I think he made it to the end of that shark movie. But that was when it started to change. It was some other movie where the black guy did die at the end, got eaten by a shark. Too many movies of us always dying to know the difference. The happy ending just doesn't include black people. The stories of our resilience, our fortitude, and our death. We almost made it, but once again, we're written off as the supporting character in the American dream. TV's changed a lot since then. My son knows the joke. We die first. I didn't teach it to him. It's just a thing. But it's different for him because we don't always die first anymore. Luke Cage didn't. Have you seen Luke Cage? Let me tell you, Luke Cage is vindication for all the black characters that had to die first. That's how it feels to me. I want more stories like Luke Cage where we don't just remind the world how greatly we contributed or sacrificed or how many of us died, but instead are a part of a story that envisions a world where we just do our thing. Get a raw deal, but stay strong. Gain superpowers, fall in love, lose love, start over, fight corruption and the powers that be, overcome our past, fall in love again, and all to a dope-ass soundtrack. Our people have superpowers. Did you ever hear the superhero? Dun, 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 Blondena Furtick. No. No, you didn't. That's because she's my grandmother. But believe me, Blondena Furtick has superpowers. She grew up in South Carolina. Her mother died when she was only 6 years old of rheumatic fever. At 12, her father died of pneumonia. This is just her backstory. At 13, she was lucky enough to receive an education due to her siblings sending her off to live with a white family where she worked as a nanny and housekeeper. She was allowed to go to the colored high school while she worked for that white family. Later, she met and married my grandfather. He promised her that when he retired from the post office, he would take her to all the places he was stationed in the Army, and he kept that promise. France, Germany, England, Alaska. Let me tell you about Alaska real quick. My grandfather's all-black regiment complained about their unfair treatment and were stationed in Alaska as punishment for complaining. They built the first highway there. She went on to earn her master's degree in education and library science. She joined an organization to help Americans in Chinese relations through educators and took a month-long trip to communist China. Then she went to communist Russia under similar conditions. It was remarkable that she went to so many countries as a black woman at a time when Americans of any color rarely visited such places. She lived in Mount Vernon, and through a life of hard work and activism, changed the place. Everybody knew my grandmother. She got free school for lunches for the kids in Mount Vernon by taking the Board of Education to court and winning. She brought Martin Luther King Jr. to Westchester for the first time, and then later Mount Vernon. Everyone knew she could be hard as hell on you, but only because she expected greatness. That love, that way of showing it without ever saying it, because she didn't, was Blondena Furtick's superpower, and she shared it with everyone. You'd say, "I love you, Grandma." She'd say, "Well, all right." But you knew. She was a superhero. So many of us are superheroes. And yes, we do have the best soundtrack the world has ever known. This soundtrack is why you love us, America. Why the first American fad was the cakewalk. Why you love blues, jazz, rock and roll, hip hop, and R&B. It's a cultural strength, a song of head nods, what's up, give and dap. It's a full body laugh. It's raising our voices, even when we aren't mad. It's using profanity because sometimes fuck that shit is just what I need to fucking say. It is speaking with our hands. It is the language with the code switched off. It is the song of stories told. It is everything I both love and hate about chitlins. And yes, it is a privilege. It is going to the movies on opening night, preferably some action movie, with the sold-out crowd of my people talking to the screen, laughing out loud, clapping our hands, slapping our knees, maybe even having to stand up. Can we please make this happen? I miss it. The comfort of being in the majority, of just sitting back, eating popcorn in a movie theater with 100 folks culturally bonded by that soundtrack, laughing together. Can we find a movie and a time to fill the theater together? Everyone can join in, all of you. But we won't quiet down for you. We will just be us in all the beautiful ways that each of us so uniquely represents our blackness. Maybe art imitates life. Maybe life also imitates art. Maybe if we stop dying first, we can stop dying first. Maybe if our lives are portrayed with value, maybe we will all begin to see our lives as having value. Maybe if Black Lives Matter more on TV and in movies, Black lives really will matter. Maybe.